Welcome back. It is now 5:53. In this morning's business report, more job interviewees are being asked for take-home assignments. And candidates have been grumbling about them, saying that it feels like free work. HR executives say that companies need to be sure that they hire staff that's motivated to work, even when they're not being watched. Interview assignments are one way, though, to gauge that intrinsic motivation.
At the urging of the Biden administration, Congress agreed in 2021 to spend $7.5 billion to build tens of thousands of electric vehicles chargers across the country. 2 years later, the program has yet to install a single charger. Now, that's according to Politico. States and the charger industry blame the delays mostly on the labyrinth of new contracting and performance requirements they have to navigate to receive federal funds, while federal officials have authorized more than $2 billion of the funds to be sent to states. Fewer than half of states have even started to take bids from contractors to build the chargers.